Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast with Talking with Tyler. Sorry for not doing a podcast for the Jets Patriots game, but the Jets won this past weekend. They won 31-10 over the Bears, and Mike White started his first game of the season throwing for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 to Garrett Wilson and 1 to Elijah Moore. The way that Zach Wilson played in the Patriots game, Wilson's outcome didn't help the Jets, but it was nice that the Jets put Mike White in because it helped the Jets win a game. And tomorrow, when the Jets play the Vikings, they're going to have hopefully they do well. The one-on-one matchup to watch is Justin Jefferson versus Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is one of the leading cornerbacks in the league right now and might maybe go for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Justin Jefferson is leading, in 3 years, he's the youngest, receiver. So Mike White in the game was 22 for 28, and his QB rating was 154. So I said this already, but he threw for 3 touchdowns and 315 yards. So Mike White is gonna be the real deal. After seeing his first 2 great games, one last year versus the Bengals and another game against the Bears where he threw for over 315 yards. So, Zonovan Knight, they added him to the roster, and he's a rookie so Zonovan Knight is a rookie, and in the game he had 69 yards and on 14 attempts, and his 19 it was his long. So if we can get Zonovan Knight going, if Wild Carter's hurt, maybe we can put him in for the game. And we also have Johnson, too. And Johnson in the game had 5 attempts for 62 yards and 1 touchdown. The one for 32 yards. So I think the running back core group is good. And if we can get Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson going tomorrow, I think we have a really good chance of winning versus the Vikings. So I got my dad back here again for another podcast. I'm going to ask him a question. How did you like the way the wide receiver group played?
How they played against the Patriots? Or how did they play against the Bears? Well, I love the way they played against the Bears. As far as the Patriots game, I think that was the real reason why we didn't have a podcast. It took me almost 2 weeks to get over that game. Wilson had just an absolute terrible showing in the first half, and in the second half, he didn't do much better. The Jets had 2 total yards in the second half. Now, the weather conditions were bad at Foxborough, but they were also bad for their quarterback as well, who completed 27 of 32 passes and still passed for over 200 and something yards. But touchdowns were scarce. Jets had more punts than they did first downs in the whole entire game. 10 punts to 9 first downs. And we're watching the game, and the defenses were just playing absolutely tremendous. We were fortunate that there were 2 missed field goals by the Patriots. But we were just hoping that the coaching staff was going to take Wilson out, and not to bench him and relegate him to the sidelines forever. But the Jets needed a spark, and whether it was Flacco or whether it was Mike White, just to get the ball down the field, have the chance to kick a field goal, I think it would have changed the whole entire outcome of the game. The Jets could have gotten the win. They could have had the split with the Patriots. They would have been first place for the first time in probably a decade, and the coaching staff didn't do that. As everyone knows, our kicker kicked the ball down the middle of the field, and we didn't cover the punt well, and the guy ran it back for a 90-something yarder, and the Jets lost in true Jet fashion. They just find new ways to win. It was a gut punch for every Jet fan, but the silver lining is that the coaching staff had enough guts to finally take Wilson out and sit him down. I think it was not only about his performance, but also his answer to the question is, whether you thought they let the defense down or he let the defense down. And his answer was just a smug no, not at all. And I don't think that set too well with the defense, and I don't think it set too well with the offense, coaching staff, or the organization, nor the fans. So coaching staff grew a set and sat him down, and they put Mike White in. So, Tyler, you asked about how the wide receivers did?
Yeah.
I mean, we were at the game. It was a little rainy, and weather conditions didn't hurt Mike White. And the first time, the Bears deferred, gave the Jets the ball. Whether Mike LaFleur did something different or not, they went down the field 80-something yards. He hit 3 or 4 different receivers, and they scored. And, Elijah Moore, your boy, who you have the jersey, finally got some action. He got a touchdown, some vindication for, taking some heat for talking in the beginning of the season that he was unhappy. And Garrett Wilson has solidified himself as a real deal, bona fide wide receiving star. He had 2 touchdowns. His yards after catch were tremendous and really helped. And I think he spread the ball to 10 different receivers that game. So if he's able to do it, why isn't Wilson? I think we've kind of not given up on Wilson, but right now the Jets are in a playoff charge and a playoff fight, and we just need to win 3 more games. So if we win 3 more games with Mike White, I don't care if it's Flacco, I don't care who it is. But if we could get 3 more wins, get us to 10, I think we'd make the playoffs. Patriots just lost to Buffalo, so that does give Buffalo a leg up on us. But Patriots are now 6-6. So this weekend we have, who are the Miami's playing?
Miami's playing the Niners.
So we got to be Niners fans this weekend, and hopefully Miami will get a loss, and the Jets will slide into second place in the AFC and move up the chain on the wild card.
Yep. And also a little bit more about the Patriots game. That one drop by Denzel Mims in the beginning of the game, a 15-yard pass, really killed the Jets, and that was the pass that Mims wanted back.
Absolutely. I mean, Mims has also gotten in a little bit more action. Hopefully he could get in the games. We have Mims, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson out there. We also put Burrios sometimes.
We also got Conklin.
And Conklin and Nazuma. They started... The tight end started getting the ball a little bit more too. So, I don't think Mike White is flashy. He really wasn't throwing the ball down the field too much, but he was hitting the guys in stride. And he was allowing his playmakers to make play out in the flat, out in the open, hitting them, giving them confidence, putting them in spots where they were going to catch the ball and have yards after catch, which is important. Something that Wilson has done in the past, but just has not done it recently, and I think he's sitting again. He's another healthy scratch. Same thing with you. You mentioned running backs. Who was that? Xavier Knight?
Yeah,
Zonovan Knight. He took over for Robinson, who was a healthy scratch, which was interesting. They didn't really talk too much about that, but right now the coach is pulling the right strings. He sat Wilson. Our quarterback came in, played great. He played that running back. Not only did he have 60-something yards, I think he had over 30-something yards in catching. So it was the first Jet rookie to have 100 all-purpose yards in his first game ever in the history of the Jets. So that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
So maybe we found a diamond in the rough there too. How about the defense? How's the defense been playing recently?
Good. In the Bears game, the Jets had two total sacks. Half a sack by Shepard, half a sack by Franco Myers, and one by Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff has really come alive this past couple games with putting pressure on the QB.
Yeah, he had a blitz sack, which was really good. Right? You said he had a sack?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a blitz sack, which he really lit up the quarterback. And listen, the Bears were down. Their starting QB wasn't there, and their backup Trevor Simeon said that he was hurt, but he actually did play in the game. And again, I don't think any Jet fan is saying that the Bears are the greatest team in the world. They're actually really struggling right now. But you know what? We didn't have our starting quarterback in. We didn't have him in the beginning of the season because of injuries. And in a 17-game season, that happens. Guys get hurt. Our running back, Brees Hall, is out, and now we have our backup in. It's a game of attrition, and you got to keep plowing through. So, the Jets have put themselves, their organization, their coaching staff, Joe Douglas has done a great job, has put the Jets in a position where they're playing meaningful football in December. And that hasn't happened since our 10-6 season, back when, who was the coach? First-time coach, Todd Bowles, who seems to be struggling a little bit in Tampa Bay. That was the last time that we had a decent team, 10-6, and didn't make the playoffs. So the Jets are hungry, and their fans are hungry to finally make it to back to the playoffs.
Yep, I think the last winning season for the Jets was during Rex Ryan's era.
Well, we were 10-6 with Bowles, like we just said, but we didn't make the playoffs. But the last time we made the playoffs was absolutely Rex Ryan. 2 consecutive years to the AFC Championship, winning one of those games at the half, and we were in both of those games, and just had a couple bad breaks. So, right now, do you think we have a chance to win the AFC East division?
Maybe, but because the Bills are a little like.
I think the Bills are better than us. They're 9-3. Their quarterback is great. They got Stephon Diggs, who's unbelievable, but they still have to play us again. They still, I believe, have to play Miami, and they still have some other games that everyone's coming and gunning for them, and the Jets already have one up on them. So if the Jets could somehow take care of the Vikings this week and kind of hold pace with them, and the Niners are able to beat Miami, it could be a dogfight. So, Bills have to play the Dolphins. They got to play the Bengals. So, the Bears and the Patriots, not crazy, but we got to beat them. You never know. Depending upon how these next 2 games go, we might want the Bills to beat the Dolphins, depending upon how they do this Sunday. So there's a lot of scenarios, but what's the one thing that the Jets need to do? Win. And that's the only thing that we can control. We can't control what these other teams are doing. Obviously, right now, we're rooting for anybody in the AFC to lose. Bengals right now and the Ravens look like they're going to battle it out. But somebody like the Chargers, maybe the Browns with Deshaun Watson coming back, we need those AFC teams to lose. So Chargers, we need to lose. Bengals, Bengals have the tiebreak over us. The Ravens have the tiebreak over us. I think one of those teams are going to win the AFC, their division, and the other team is going to have a pretty good chance to make it to the wild card, but we need those teams to lose. We need Ravens, Bengals, Miami, and the Chargers to lose. So we'll see. Right now, Chargers are sitting at 6-5, Patriots 6-6, and every other team has 4 wins. So it's really right now going to be a dogfight with the Dolphins, Bengals, Jets, and Chargers. And the Patriots, you never know. You can never count out Belichick. They have lost 2 in a row. They did play on 2 consecutive Thursdays. No, excuse me, 1 Thursday. So they'll have a little bit of a break and some extra rest, but we just got to win. Got to find a way. We're playing in the Dome. It's away on the road. And again, the Vikings, while they've been, while they're playing well, and their record is pretty good. Their record's 9-2 right now. They've been down in the fourth quarter in about 80 or 90% of their games, and they've always found ways to come back. But with the Jets' defense, might be more difficult.
The game versus the Vikings went downhill versus the Cowboys. The Vikings-Cowboys game, that was probably one of the Vikings' worst games this year.
They got trounced. But
that was, I thought that was on Thanksgiving. It's not. It was. All right. Thank you guys for listening to my podcast. And the Jets will be taking on the Vikings this weekend, tomorrow. And Jets.
Jets.